And Raja Krishnamoorthi, who's a Democrat from Illinois and a member of the House Intelligence Committee. Benjamin Wittes is editor-in-chief of Lawfare and an NBC News law analyst. And Natasha Bertrand, of course, staff writer for The Atlantic. Thank you all. This is amazing. What's going on, Congressman? Is the acting attorney general going to show up tomorrow before the committee or not?
I hope so. He said that he would appear voluntarily and there would be no need for a subpoena, so hopefully he shows up tomorrow.
Well, what is this thing about executive privilege? To me, the only reason you want to talk to him is you want to know, what does he talk to Mueller about? What's he know about Mueller? What authorities is he pushing on Mueller? And what's he hearing from the president about what he's supposed to do with Mueller? You want to know those answers. Will he answer any of those questions?
I'm not part of the Judiciary Committee, but I'm sure that they're going to ask him about oversight of the Mueller investigation, whether he's going to allow it to proceed unimpeded.
And what do you expect?
Well, I think that as he wrote previously in an op-ed, he looks on it, he's disparaged the Mueller investigation in the past. So it's really unclear how he can be an honest broker about it.
Ben, what's going on here with executive privilege, this whole question? I'm not going to show up if you ask tough questions. I'm not going to answer them if you ask the questions. And this is a divided government. We've got Democrats in power now. They got the power of the subpoena, something Richard Nixon was always afraid of when the Democrats had it. And now they've got it again against this Republican president.
So that's exactly the answer to the question, right? This is both branches of government behaving exactly as you would expect them to under these circumstances. Democrats in control of the House are trying to use that to get answers to some pretty serious questions. And the Justice Department is not thrilled about the idea of having the Attorney General, the acting Attorney General, answer questions about his personal communications with the President of the United States. So you have this showdown where the two, rams lock horns, and one group says, we reserve the right to subpoena you if you don't answer our questions, and here are the questions we're going to ask you. The other side says, if you don't promise you're not going to subpoena me, I'm not showing up, and we'll see tomorrow who blinks.
Well, the one truly trusted figure in this whole discussion, Natasha, is Robert Mueller, the special counsel. He's unscathed. Nobody questions. He's like Ralph Nader of old. He's the guy you're going to trust. Now, the question is he going to get his report before the public and before the Congress or not? And I think that's what we want to know, members of Congress want to know, and that's why they would subpoena him. Isn't it the question, has he cut a deal with the president? Is he going to hold it back in some way? Is he going to redact a lot of it? Is he going to play games? Your thoughts?
That is the big question, Chris, and it's why so many Democrats were wary of supporting Bill Barr's nomination in the first place, because Bill Barr has criticized elements of the Mueller investigation. He has said that Mueller has overreached in his investigation into whether or not the president obstructed justice. So if there is a portion of this report that deals with the president's attempts to derail the Russia investigation, then how is Bill Barr going to receive that? Is he going to redact it? Is he going to withhold it completely? And can the Democrats then in the House subpoena that information from the Justice Department? But of course, Bill Barr's nomination has been very controversial on the left because he has not committed, or he did not commit in his nomination here, in his confirmation hearings, to release that full report. And we don't even know, I think it's worth remembering, we don't even know if this is going to be an actual report. We don't know what form this is going to take. But obviously his communications with the president about all of this, and I think this is why the Democrats were also very interested in hearing from Whitaker, his communications with the president about Mueller, about his views on the special counsel probe, about things like recusal are very, very important. And the idea that Whitaker is not willing, and at the 11th hour told Democrats that he's not willing to go sit for discussions and for a hearing about his discussions with the president is very telling, because I think we can all be assured that it's very unlikely that the president would have appointed Matt Whitaker as acting attorney general and now Bill Barr as the full attorney general if he did not receive some kind of assurances, or if he did not have at least a conversation with both of them about recusal and about the Mueller probe.
Well, one Democrat on the Intel Committee of the House, Eric Swalwell of California, told Axios' Jonathan Swan the committee plans to deep dive now, saying, quote, we are going to take on an MRI, one of those X-ray machines, basically, to any Russian financing that the Trump organization and the president may have had. Let's bring up Jonathan Swan right now, Axios national political reporter. This is driving the president insane. He always said, I don't want the Mueller investigation to go into my finances. And now the new chair of the House Intelligence Committee, who the president's been mocking now for 2 years personally, making fun of his name, Schiff, making him sound like that other SH word. And he's been terrible to the guy. And now he fears the guy's coming back with him with a vengeance. And my question to you is, how hot's this going to get? Jonathan.
I think it's not overstating to say that this is actually the most threatening fight of the Trump presidency so far. Trump drew a very clear red line with the New York Times early in the administration, saying that if Mueller approached his business affairs, his personal finances, it would be out of bounds. And now the Democrats on the House Intelligence Committee are explicitly saying that. What they're most interested in are these extraordinary series of cash purchases that President Trump, or then Donald Trump, private citizen, made in the decade before he ran for president. The Washington Post did a story last year that I think deserved a lot more attention than it got. They reported that the president, again, Donald Trump, the Trump organization spent some $400 million in cash to buy properties around the world. This is very unusual. It's not how real estate is typically done. Usually it's leveraged with debt. And in fact, Donald Trump earlier in his career had called himself the king of debt. So it was out of character for him. So Eric Swalwell told me this last night, and Adam Schiff has said this publicly. They are going to put a microscope over how they got the money, and that's going to be a trail that they follow with real determination. They've also hired some people on the committee who have expertise, I'm told, in tracing money flows through complex property transactions.
Well, you know, Congressman Raj, I have to tell you, this is what I've been thinking for months. You know, in the movie industry, they went over to Japan for years to get money. Then the movies didn't make any money, so then they go to the American Indian tribes, you know, Native Americans for money. They go around for all kinds. And now I hear that if you're going to do anything in real estate in this country, you only can go to Russia. That's the only place where there's all these, oligarchs with lots of cash. They want to launder. They want to get rid of it. Yeah. They've been looting that country since 91, and they want to have a place to make some money, more money with. Donald Trump.
Well, I think you have to follow the rubles. I think, in this particular case, the president did draw a red line. We don't know if Mueller crossed that red line. We just don't know. That's why it's all the more important.
Do you think Deutsche Bank was a pass-through for the Russians?
Well,
all of a sudden, the money for 666 shows up, and I'm just wondering, all this cash, now a president who can repay it.
I can't comment on the specifics, but for sure, Deutsche Bank is all over the news as to being a conduit for various oligarchs who want to get money into the West, transforming black money into white money.
This guy, Adam Schiff, has got the bit in his teeth. He's going for this, and he's not going to limit himself to little mandates prescribed for Robert Mueller.